All right, thank you for staying with us. It is time now to know what's on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. Public affairs analyst OladeindeAriyo and broadcast journalist Funke Treasure are here in the studio to join me to look through the papers this morning. Good morning, lady and
gentlemen. Good morning.
Good morning.
What?
No, don't say anything. They say action speaks louder than words. So we've seen your action. It's fine. It's fine. All right, so we head straight to the papers now, and I begin with the Daily Times. Miyetti Allah to Buhari, National Assembly stop governors from implementing anti-open grazing laws. Stop governors from implementing anti-open grazing laws. You find details of that story on the pages of the Daily Times. To the News Direct now, Lagos joins Rivers, others to legislate against open grazing. Legislation undermines peace, stability. Miyetti Allah speaking there. All right. To the Guardian newspaper, VAT, that's value-added tax, open grazing bill scale first, second reading at Lagos Assembly. Lawmakers advocate stiffer penalties for herders carrying firearms. Our court refuses FIRS application to stop Rivers government from VAT collection. Wike orders corporate bodies, businesses to comply or be sanctioned. All right, Miyetti Allah pushes against grazing laws, threatens court action. Interesting. All right, we move to the first newspaper now. Showore court order restricts activists to Abuja. Showore court order restricts activists to Abuja. Now to the front page of the Blueprint. Conflicting court orders making INEC work difficult. Yakubu. Conflicting court orders making INEC work difficult. Pledges to work with bar bench to defend electoral process. All right, we find details of the story on the pages of the Blueprint newspaper. To the Punch newspaper now. APC multiple court cases. Aggrieved members Dare Buni panel compiles litigants list. We won't withdraw cases. Buhari party can't stop suit. Aggrieved members will stand by NEC decision that all court cases must be withdrawn, says party. All right, you find details of the story on the pages of the Punch newspaper. To the Nation newspaper now, conflicting orders, 3 judges to face NJC panel. CJN condemns embarrassing orders. INEC, how courts stall election process. You'll find details of the story on the pages of the Nation newspaper. To the Daily Trust now, lockdown, heavy clampdown on bandits in Zamfara. Operation successful, bandits instigating locals to protest. They're on the run, releasing captives. Matawali will endure pain of security measures. Residents, over 40 rustlers killed. Logistics hideout bombed in Kaduna. To the national economy now, 20,000 Nigerian fresh graduates to get special job opportunities annually. 20,000 Nigerian fresh graduates to get special job opportunities annually. You'll find details of the story on the pages of the economy. To the Business Day now, more states to join push for VAT collection. More states join push for VAT collection. Details on the pages of the Business Day. To this Nigerian newspaper, VAT collection, Rivers floors federal government. Federal High Court strikes out FIRS suit, declines to stop states from collecting VAT revenue. All right, to the Leadership newspaper now, VAT verdict. States begin consultation as court quashes FIRS application. To the Nigerian Tribune, court refuses FIRS application to stop Rivers from collecting VAT. Wike directs states Internal Revenue Service to enforce compliance. And to the front page of this day newspaper, VAT judgment. Court refuses federal government's plea to stay for stay of execution. Says it will negate principle of equity. Wike to FIRS stop bullying corporate bodies from paying. Alleges mastery others attempting to truncate court ruling. Urges governments to collectively fight for devolution of resources. Threatens lockdown in Rivers again. To the Vanguard newspaper, still talking about the same story, value-added tax, FIRS loses, Lagos joins tax war as Rivers digs in. Granting FIRS prayer is murder, judge Wike orders immediate enforcement of VAT collection on firms in Rivers. VAT bill passes first, second reading as Lagos Assembly laments low federal government allocation despite high collection. All right. Let's begin with this story that seemed to be generating a lot of reactions. And you find the story on about 3 newspapers this morning talking about Miyetti Allah asking the President and the National Assembly to stop governors from implementing the anti-open grazing laws. We see some states of the South already implementing the laws, and they are saying that this move by these governors will undermine peace, stability, and I wonder what you make of this. Okay.
I don't see any way that this should undermine the peace and stability of states. I watched Miyetti Allah's press conference. I think we should remember that the president said when he was taking on leadership of the country that he's for nobody and for everyone.
Absolutely.
Nigeria is not homogeneous. It doesn't consist of only the Fulanis. So Miyetti Allah is wrong to say that he's going to go to court. They're saying they're going to court. Okay, go to court. Because the land belongs to the people, and the state governors have the right over the land and how they use it.
According to the Land Use Act.
According to the Land Use Act. So you cannot come from wherever and say, no, you want to, superintend there, you must be there. You mustn't be there. If you will be there, there will be dialogue. There should be dialogue. And in this wise, we're saying this is it's against, how do I say that? It's hurting the people, your activities here, and the fact that we have armed herdsmen, which you haven't been able to tackle. You haven't brought any solution. You're saying it's not Miyetti Allah people, it's not the Fulanis in Nigeria. Okay, but what have you done
to identify those
yes, and
who are causing them from issues?
Yes, so right. You cannot be speaking from both sides of the match. You don't know them, but you are allowing them to go on, and you have the wherewithal, the responsibility to say these are the bad eggs amongst us. You're not doing that. You want to go to court, let them go to court. And then if they're not pursuing dialogue, it's just so shameful. I'm hoping, I'm waiting for the sort of dialogue.
Haven't we been having dialogue over this issue?
They've been threatening rather than having dialogues.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's get your perspective today.
Well, animal husbandry or pastoralism,
right,
it's not a national
engagement.
It's not a national vocation.
But they are saying that Nigeria hasn't developed in such a way that it can embrace developments with regards to agriculture, pastoralism, and all.
It's not within their forte to determine that. They have overstepped their bounds. And I don't know why government at the federal level now has continued to allow them to throw threats up and down over what is purely personal business.
It is.
Yeah, yesterday when they came on air, the TV platform had to edit out some of the things they were leaking out. Why? Because they knew they might get punished by NBC. That was how bad the utterances were. We cannot continue this way. We have spent almost 4 years now discussing about animals as if Nigerians, the human beings, are not important. I don't fancy this. If you want to herd animals, you must be able to do it the way it should be done. This is 2021, not 1940. No, all over the world, ranching is the way to go. And this everybody knows. The same Miyetti Allah had acknowledged that. Okay, so why are they now going back and forth? Besides, the evils that emanated from open grazing, we've all seen it. So many lives have been wasted here. People have suffered rape. Farmlands have been damaged. A friend of mine came from UK, went to Benin to start a plantation. The next time he would call me, he was on wheelchair. Why? Overnight, animals invaded the farm and ate virtually everything. The guy is back in UK now, on wheelchair, having lost his investment in Nigeria. Yeah. Are we now going to continue in that same stance when we are not animals? We are human beings, for crying out loud. We should be able to organize ourselves. And I don't know whether, I don't care whether you are American or British herdsman. The truth is, if government say they don't want so, they don't want it. A band of people cannot gather together in the name of an association and be threatening. Let them go to court. I mean, the courts will definitely do justice to it. The law gives the governors the power and the right to
decide what
that space. So if they say they don't want it, they don't want it.
And in addition,
you can't force it on them.
In addition to that, we've seen an important, significant effect of this herder issue in Nigeria, because you see there is food scarcity. We cannot continue that way. Our farmers must go back to the farm.
It seems they're not seeing it from that perspective.
They need to.
Having a conversation is quite challenging. I wonder why it's quite difficult for us to have a roundtable conversation to address these issues and everybody lay things on the table.
You don't talk to somebody who is pretentiously deaf and dumb to your cause.
How so? What do you mean by being deaf and dumb?
Because they should have been able to know that the consequences of herders going to farms, going to villages to kill, destroy, rape, kidnap people is leading us gradually to food insecurity. It's a common sense thing. You don't need anybody to sit you down and begin to teach you.
But they are saying that you banning them from, having these grazing routes is also affecting their economy.
You see, they must understand that Nigeria is not a country of one ethnic group.
Precisely.
We come with different cultures, different traditions, and all of that. So if the people are particular, they don't want it. You cannot now impose it on them. It's not like me now carrying pigs to go to Sokoto or Zamfara and say, okay, I want to start breeding pigs. I'm sure they will not accept it. I mean, so we shouldn't be making an issue out of a non-issue, and it's annoying.
We cannot have growth and unity. We cannot have growth and unity without tolerance. We must tolerate our religions. We must tolerate our points of views. We must tolerate the fact that everyone has a right. Where your right ends is where mine starts.
Absolutely.
It's just so unfortunate that this has been allowed to fester.
As they say on the street, that when handshakes is getting to the elbow. It's becoming wrestling. This is no longer about your business. If it's about your business, it doesn't have to be a national headache. And that's what they're making it to look like.
I don't even understand how an association would challenge different state governors on how they choose to administer, to govern their states and administer land or superintend over land issues in their states. It's none of your business. The point is, your business should not hurt my people, should not hurt our economy, should not make lives insecure. If you want to trade, then trade properly, do your thing according to the law. Do not kill people. Do not allow this to be an avenue for people to be kidnapped and be killed. If you cannot guarantee the safety of lives and property, then your trade, your cattle rearing is now a danger to my people. So I'm going to tell you to not come to my place.
Because it is the responsibility of state governors
to
ensure. So perhaps
that is,
so at this point, let's see if they will head to the courts, and the courts will decide what happens from there at the end of the day. Right, let's quickly touch on this matter, conflicting court orders, where the CJN is condemning the court orders and how is saying that it is becoming embarrassing. And INEC is also coming out to say that this is making their work difficult, where you have court orders. It is when one person is stated as being perhaps a governor, the court wouldn't rule. Maybe there are issues, the court wouldn't rule until the person has come up, and then again at the end of the day, one thing or the other, things just keep happening. And that is also, as some people have said, threatening our democracy.
I mean, it's not rocket science, because at the end of the day, after all the merry-go-rounding from court to court, judge to judge, the people are deprived the right to elect the people they want. So the courts now usurp their power and decide who should be governor or whatever office that brought out the litigation. But you see, in all of these things, as much as I want to blame the judges, we should also not lose focus on the lawyers who accept the briefs and file the petitions. They are, if not guiltier, they are the one, okay, bringing it to be. If you are a lawyer and your client comes to you with a situation like this, and you are aware there's an existing pronouncement on the same matter in a court of composite authority,
okay,
you simply advise him or her, sorry, we cannot go forward, and explain the reasons why. The best thing they can do is to go to the court of appeal, which is a higher court.
Yeah.
It's acceptable. By the time you now bring a judgment from Abeokuta, then another one from Ibadan on the same issue, you are creating confusion, and it's not helping our democracy. Then there is any good name for the judiciary. It's taking away their crown. So I commend the CJN for stepping. Though for me, it's too late.
Really?
We've had too many cases. Yeah, we've had too many cases. Perhaps if something had been done before now, we wouldn't get to this point.
But at least something has been done now.
Well, I don't think it's too late to right a wrong or to correct a recurrent error, in, especially in our judicial system. If you look at what the miscarriage of justice that we've had, or miscarriages, which of them? Miscarriage of justice that we've had consistently in recent times. You see that it's become a disgrace to the judiciary that these things are going on in Nigeria. About time, and I commend the CJN for this. It's good that he's reining in his colleagues in the judiciary, both judges and the lawyers as well. Perhaps is a sign of the times that we're in Nigeria. Moving forward, let's hope that this will bring some sanity. Because the examples have led to even more crisis in the states. You look at the Anambra issue. This one is saying no. I'm the candidate for PDP. This one is saying no, you're not. It's just so messy. So it's good that this is happening.
And like you pointed out, it is robbing the people of their right to determine who they want, and this keeps going on and on.
There was a statement yesterday,
right,
declaring Andy Uba no longer the senator representing the constituent, and another name was announced. The question is that in line with the wishes of the voters? You know, each time it happens, that for me becomes a setback.
Yeah, I mean, so that falls voter apathy.
Exactly.
Like, why should I go and vote? Because my vote won't count. They're going to go to court and upset everything, and they're going to bring their own person there.
Today, one very bad example that people keep referring to, which is very painful, is the governor of Imo State. They still say him, but they don't call him, they call him governor, Supreme Court governor or administrator or whatever. It shouldn't have been. If people were to have been allowed, maybe they call for a second round of voting or something, then nobody will doubt or question his legitimacy to be governor, you know. And the earlier these things are put to a permanent end, total stop.
Are you confident I will have a permanent end?
We should be able to, when the lawyers are involved, NBA should be involved.
Yes.
NBA, they are a critical component in the trajectory.
Yeah.
They are the ones that take the brief, they are the ones that they go to court. So without them, I mean, it will not be activated in the first place. But for as long as the brief looks rich and good enough, and they go for it, they will keep happening. But if you want to take let the client know that, look, we won't be doing this, because a court of composite authority has taken a position. So let's go to the appeal court. That looks tidy enough. And if they can have their way, then so be it.
And if they can't have their way,
then yeah.
Your final word on this before we leave this
conversation. Well, I think, you know, the three arms of government, there is the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary, and we, the media, constitute the fourth. The four arms, now I'm going to add the media, should be allowed to run as they should. It's because we have anathemas here and there, that's where we have the crisis in the country. If the executive is outstepping their bounds, the legislature is doing the right thing to say this is what the law says and this is what the people who've elected us say. And then the media is not sensationalizing, they're staying on the issue without being partisan. And the people are saying, no, the office of the citizen is active and alive and vibrant. We will have a way to go. The people cannot continue to be silent. They must continue to effectively run the office of the citizen. And we, the media, must continue to do our job. Executive, you are for the nobody. For everybody. Please be for all of us.
Well, signing off, I will advise the Southeastern leaders to recognize that IPOB has become a force to reckon with. You can't wish IPOB away.
Okay, that's not the issue here today.
No, it's not, but I'm just advising.
Okay,
to a round table.
That would be for another conversation.
Because they are saying the lockdown is affecting the economy.
All right.
Thank you to the Kaduna State government.
Yes.
We need to leave the conversation here now. Thank you so much, OladeindeAriyo, Funke Treasure, for your time on the